With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
The following is a GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street production. You've discovered your link to GoPowerCat.com's PowerCat Overtime podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor, and it starts right now. Now, let's go to the WTC Gig-Powered Studios. Here's your host, GoPowerCat.com publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
Welcome to the Overtime. I know it feels like we didn't podcast much this week, but we did, but we didn't. I gave Monkey 1 and Monkey 2 the day off from the Questions podcast, and we just had a little chat with Gene Taylor. I thought that was great. That was so much better than you guys. First of all, Tim Fitzgerald, Zach Carlson, Ryan Gilbert, your podcast trifecta for only one podcast this week, the Friday Overtime. Guys, welcome back.
Did Gene Taylor big time us?
What do you mean?
Did he big time us?
What do you mean? Like you two?
He's big time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's what I meant. not
you know, our friend K-Net on the site thinks we should do an overtime with Gene, and he asked some overtime questions, and I threw one in about Mill Street versus Aggieville, and he sided with Aggieville pretty strongly. I thought he was pandering, but you know, he made some good points, valuable points, that Mill's more of a general shopping entertainment area for the masses, and Aggieville's for the students. So, but yeah, he thinks we could get Gene going, and I'm like, I know we could, because Gene's actually not as reserved and conservative as he comes across on a lot of the official K-State stuff. He's actually a pretty fun guy.
Yeah.
So, but that was good. That was fun. We asked, I don't know how many questions I ended up asking. I think there was 13 or 14 from users. I threw in my own and went about 40 minutes, and boom. D. Scott got some content. Boom. Beautiful. Speaking of questions for the podcast, we now have a thread. It's currently pinned at the top of Wabash Station. We might unpin it because I don't look at pinned threads anymore. I don't know about you guys, but it's for questions that can just be used anytime. They're not really time sensitive. They're evergreen questions, if you want to put it that way, that we can add in when we kind of run low on quality questions in a week, which happens. I don't mean to be critical, but sometimes you guys are better than other times. I mean, sometimes the VIP members at Wabash Station rise up and are Jordan-like. And other times you're more like, I don't know, Bill Cartwright. You're essential, but, you know, you don't really do much with the ball. So you're still championship worthy, but I went down this road too far. Hey, Zach, how are our questions from Wabash Station for this edition of the Overtime?
The questions were so good, I had to save some for later. So,
nice. King
Jim 77, I'm very sorry. You will not be in this podcast, but thank you for your great questions. A lot of them there were actually a lot of questions in the Overtime thread that would actually be good on the normal podcast, you know, that A slot. So yeah, some of your questions were good enough for prime time.
Sweet. We're sponsored by The Fridge. Speaking of prime time, it is the Prime Time Liquor Store in Manhattan. Get into The Fridge. You can now order online or via their really cool app. Order, pay, pick up. It's that slick with The Fridge now, or you can stop in and actually talk to human beings about your alcohol needs. They're experts in wine and any other things that you might need to get your party started. And they're great people. Stop in The Fridge at the corner of this and that in the town in which we live. Sponsors of the PowerCat podcast. Let's get going with your questions from Wabash Station. By the way, Gills, so far you've been knockout good on this podcast.
Awesome. Better than the other RG?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He would talk over the top of me. You always defer. That's what I like in an employee.
I'm a cricket.
Just defer to the boss so he can blabber. Now, actually, I'm looking forward to us getting into a studio together where we can build better cohesion in when we talk. Because you kind of learn the signals, you know, the sexy eye signals you get with someone when they're in the the studio, like, now it's your turn, stud. That kind of thing. That kind of got awkward. Zach, let's get rolling with your questions from Wabash Station. It's the overtime for the middle of May.
From Ema Wildcat 82. On the latest episode of the Life of Fitz podcast, you mentioned, Fitz, several area establishments that will not open post-COVID-19. What closures can we expect to find when we return to Manhattan?
I don't know that I'm at liberty to say. I've learned them through connections.
Well, one restaurant that will for sure not be coming back is Denny's. Denny's, the sign is gone, lights are off. They are no longer always open. They will always be closed in Manhattan.
So much for the Grand Slam. It was a long-standing tradition of Go Power Cat Illustrated road trips. Fritch and I would go right, and Becky and our friend Darren Brown would go to Denny's and bring us back club sandwiches with chips. I love Denny's, actually. But I never once went to the one in my own town.
Denny's is the worst Denny's I have ever been to. Actually, it's the only Denny's I've ever been to, but it's I think I've been only twice. I think I've been twice, and I actually went about a year ago.
Are you optimistic about all other Denny's that they're actually good? I mean, they're Denny's.
Come on. I mean, I like going to IHOP, and IHOP, you have a respectable experience there, so I don't see why Denny's can't strive for greatness internationally like the House of Pancakes can. But the wait times, the food, it takes forever. It takes forever to pay. The whole process, like it's a 2-hour process. I've had better 2-hour meals at Harry's, and I've only had one of those.
Okay, well, that wasn't one I was talking about. These are both locally owned restaurants that will not be returning. I'm just not at liberty because they're not 100% certain. I'm fairly certain it's going to happen. The owners have not made the announcement, so who am I to do it? So just be patient. You'll find out.
Well, now I'm sad, Fitz. Hope that it's nothing that I want to go to, you know?
I don't know that you've been to these. That doesn't mean you don't want to go to them, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving
on. From KNED, will one COVID change be the return of the mullet, and how many keep them once hair shops reopen?
God, I hope not. Guys, I have more hair right now than I have in years. It is approaching 3/4 of an inch long. And I'm like, I should cut it, but why? Why? Becky wants me to cut it into a mohawk. It'd
be only in the back.
Yeah, it'd be like a half hawk. It'd be kind of weird. You know, maybe I could go full creepy guy that eventually lives in Florida and be bald on top but grow a ponytail out the back. That'd be a look.
Yes.
That'd be a look right there. Yeah.
You could commit a crime and be known as Florida Man.
Ooh, yeah. I love it. Yeah. You don't want to have a ponytail and commit crime. That kind of gives you away. That's a kind of kink at the plans. I noticed that this is oversharing. I'm going to overshare. My eyebrows need a trim, so I'm going to get on that. I've got a few hairs that are beginning to pick up radio signals, which is kind of odd. So, no, how's everyone else's hair doing? Show-offs?
I need a haircut.
I just buzz it. I started buzzing it myself, but I can't wait to see Dylan again at Campus Barbershop in Aggieville. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but a good place to get your haircut. Gills, What was your comment?
I need a haircut, man. It's getting bushy.
I finally made an appointment for the doggos to get haircuts. We've got trimmers and clippers, and we've been making sure that they can see basically because their eyes were getting covered up. And I called like 48 hours, or I texted her about 48 hours after they were able to reopen, and her first opening was the end of May. So we still got a couple more weeks, maybe 12, 13 more days before they get in. They're going to be a mess. We could actually, I'm thinking about having her save all the clippings, and we could have a delightful throw pillow of their hair. It'd be wonderful. It'd be a gift. Maybe
it'd be itchy.
Maybe I'll get 4 of them and give them as presents for Christmas for all of my staff.
Wow. I don't think I could top that.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Politely decline.
You're welcome.
From Itane BB, what was your best K-State class that is helping you today? And do you have a favorite professor if you can still remember?
I don't really know of a class that's helping me today. I mean, my career's evolved so much. I'm doing online and, just general writing classes. What helped me the most is just working at the Collegian and learning how to write, edit, be a editor of others, schedule, those kind of things. That really has helped me the most in my career. And I think, Gills, you probably agree. You're probably learning more from your own podcast than a lot of classes, just how to do things, hands-on.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more. But Mr. Typer over there, Zach.
Oh, sorry. I thought I muted myself.
Dr. Keister's sports econ class, I know we've talked about this on here before, but that is seriously, it's the only class that I've actually retained information and I use it, going forward in my career. I don't think there's any other class that I've actually, remembered anything from. So, but yeah, the podcast has really helped me a lot, hands-on experience. I had like a weekly, talk show on Wildcat 91.9, the campus station. That's helped me a little bit. So I think it's more of what activities and clubs and whatever organizations did you join in college that you're really going to, remember and grow from. Because the classes, you go, you study, you do your homework, you take a test, you do that 5 times, you get your grade. There's really no, you don't retain much from that. So I think it's the activities, like you said, with collegiate and stuff like that.
My favorite professor in college, really, it was an elective and why I took econ. Maybe I needed something in that sequence, but I took econ from Roger Terneri, and he was awesome. He was an incredible teacher, an amazing teacher. I didn't really do well in the class. I think I got a C, which was out of the norm for me, but yeah, it was a challenging class, and I enjoyed the challenge. So, but again, I didn't retain much. I don't know.
Yeah, Dr. Keister's up there for me too. I took the same class, but for me, probably my favorite professor and the class that actually helps me the most come from the same person, Dr. Doug Walker. It was a marketing class I took my last semester in school, and it was basically a lot of like the digital analytics stuff that I look at now, and just kind of web traffic, and I don't really know how to put it, but there were a lot of marketing concepts in there that weren't necessarily marketing, and you could apply them to a lot of places, especially if you're online. Just e-commerce. It was a lot of good stuff, and that's probably the class that I absolutely use the most stuff in.
It's funny because you're a business guy. Your background's analytics. You were hired with us to do video, and you're really good at that. It's kind of something you did on the side for us, and it grew into this. But it's amazing now that we're with 24/7, and we have so much access to analytics and understanding when and what to use as content. And everything we do now most of the stuff we do now has a purpose. When it goes, what it is, it serves a purpose, and it's analytically based. And before, honestly, we were just flying blind. This is what we do. We've done it this way. We're going to continue to do it this way. And this is how much content we do and how much is VIP. And now everything is kind of measured. It's almost like ingredients into the cake. And what comes out is a really cool product. So it's been really helpful to have you on board, being able to decipher all those analytics so well.
Next question is from Chris66204. It's your birthday. It's not, but pretend it is.
Okay.
What do you request as a cake or other treat?
Gills, you go.
Fitz, you weigh more than me. You'd be better answering this question.
Oh my gosh.
Someone feels comfortable with the crew. Let's see. Well, mine is a carrot cake. If you're ever at Jack Stack, go get their carrot cake. It actually comes out as a little tiny, almost like a cupcake, big cupcake, but it's really good. But yeah, at some point in my life, I fell in love with carrot cake, which I don't know how or when it happened, but yeah, that's my choice.
Mine is every birthday since I had a Hy-Vee birthday cake. It was it wasn't even a birthday cake. It was like for a graduation or something. I had it. I'm like, where is this cake from? They're like, it's from Hy-Vee. And I'm like, I never wanted Dylan's cake ever again.
Really?
So Hy-Vee white cake, it's the best. Dylan's cake, the worst.
Oh, wow. Man, that's a hot take.
I had for my birthday. It's not a hot take. It's the right take. But also, if we had a Great American Cookie in town, like at some the bigger malls, a big giant cookie cake, I love those. Those are solid. Only vanilla icing, not chocolate icing.
You guys ever go to Costco, even from Manhattan?
No, we don't because we don't have.
They got a nice cake there. So
what kind is it?
That'd be my answer. It's like chocolatey, and caramely, and all this.
Oh yeah,
dark stuff.
Oh yeah.
Been to Sam's Club because that's closer in Topeka, and it's the same thing.
Yeah, the exact same thing.
I do want to go to Costco because it's kind of like one of those cold experiences. Like you got to go do it. Kind of like eating Whataburger in Texas. Like it's you got to go see Costco. So I need to do that at some point.
The irony is, getting back to Gills' awesome comment, is I'm not a big dessert person. We go to a restaurant, my little tiny wife gets the dessert, and I have to eat a couple bites to make her feel like she's not eating it all herself. But yeah, I'm not a big dessert person. I like to put my calories into smoked meats, wings, and other things like burgers. And Whataburger. Whataburger is the meal and dessert all in one for me.
So if you had the choice between an extra side or a dessert, you're taking the side?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. I might take a shake.
Jack Stack carrot cake?
Yeah, Jack Stack carrot cake. Any carrot cake. I might take a shake. I'm kind of a shake guy. I've kind of turned into that, which I never really was, but now I am. So that's a good way. When I feel like I've lost a few pounds and need to put some weight back on, I can go get some shakes.
From Chris66204, does Fitz pay overtime wages to the guys to do the overtime questions?
No, that's an irony, isn't it? It's just part of the job.
So it is ironic.
You mean Monkey 1 and Monkey 2?
Yes.
No, which one is Monkey 1?
Well, he was here before you.
Okay.
You took the Monkey 2 title from the former Monkey 2. It's kind of like being, the one of those English titles, the Lord of Fartingham. When the Lord of Fartingham dies, someone else becomes the Lord of Fartingham. Monkey 2.
Okay.
Yep.
I accept it.
It's science.
From Wagcat, what is your favorite or funniest commercial you've ever seen?
Oh, man.
I have mine.
You guys ever seen The Addiction Network? Late at night on ESPN?
Yes.
That one always is just that fake doctor-looking dude.
What?
It's terrible.
He's hilarious. The first time I saw that, I was like, that guy is supposed to be a doctor. And then I love how there's a parody account. He goes, first name Barry. I'm not going to say his last name. It's not really appropriate for this podcast.
Mike Hockner.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Mike Hockner.
I'm not going to say his first and last name together, but okay. Mr. McHockner.
Doctor
McHockner.
And his grandpa's name is Ulysses B. McHockner III.
Didn't know that. Had no idea.
If you've been following him on Twitter for years, you know that.
I love the cult following he has on Twitter. And then once he gets shut down, he spoofed Adam Schefter the other week. I think it was last week, and I was like, well, you better get the backup account.
Going, he's done that to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are aware of him because I was going to bring that up, and I didn't know if that was appropriate for the older crowd. But
no,
we're good.
That's funny. What's funny about that, though, is the commercial itself isn't funny. It's the resulting meme and meme accounts that came after it.
Yeah.
But my favorite commercial, it never aired on TV, and this was back in the days of, early YouTube. Think 2006, 2007. I'm in middle school. And, when Google Videos was still a thing, and, Google had just bought YouTube, so Google Videos was still its own separate thing. But there was this Dodge commercial. It was a Dodge Durango. And these two guys, they go into the bathroom, and there's, you know how you go into a bathroom and you got the urinals, and they've got ads up there, a newspaper or something, but it's this ad for Dodge Durango. And the guy goes up to it, and there's two guys that are taking a leak next to each other, and he's like, "Whoa, check this out." It's like, "Whoa, that's big. Is it new?" Just got it 7 inches longer, and like they were advertising that the Durango was 7 inches longer, and then there's a guy sitting in the stall, and he's just overhearing this conversation with no context, and just it's completely dirty. But at the same time, you see a lot of commercials on TV now, and the way that times have changed, you think that might be able to make it on TV because it's kind of a good joke.
I'm a sucker for Geico commercials, the original ones, like the Hump Day one and the Camel in The Office. I love that one. But I think the funniest one, I can't even think of the product right now. I think it's a laundry detergent where the kid lives with his grandparents and they're in the closet and they're talking about their laundry detergent or something, and they come out and their clothes are all disheveled, and he thought they were getting it on. That one's pretty funny because then later in the commercial, they come out of the closet and he thinks they've been talking about laundry detergent and they were getting it on. So, speaking
of laundry detergent, I loved the Super Bowl Tide ads where everything is a Tide ad. That was some of the best marketing.
Yeah,
I think that anybody's ever done. That was some good stuff.
Addiction is a disease.
How did they cast that guy? Why did they think that guy was going to be convincing as a doctor?
He looks like he's 25 and lives in his basement.
I know.
His mom's basement, and drinks Kool-Aid.
But, guys, based on the number of times that ad ran, it had to have been effective. They had to be getting business off of it. It's crazy.
I guess. But then again, they run them late at night. The ad prices aren't necessarily going to be.
I know, but they kept doing it.
You see them on like ESPN and real channels, so something weird going on.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. I'm here to tell you about Boll & Branch sheets. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. They're made from the rarest organic cotton and designed to get even softer over time. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee plus 15% off your first order with code Odyssey. So head to BOLLandbranch.com today. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
From Wagcat, what game do you dominate when you play it? It could be sports or a board game, really anything goes.
Wow. Back in the day, I dominated, back in the day being when I was a kid, and they had those, it's now like bubble hockey, but there was no bubble over it. It was like you just threw the puck in the middle and they got little guys on sticks. It was almost like foosball, but for hockey. I was really good at that. In fact, I never lost. A friend never beat me at that hockey game. And then times moved on, and we don't play that hockey game anymore. So I retired as an undefeated champion and walked away from the sport. Take that, Muhammad Ali.
For me, whenever I play golf with people, usually I'm the best golfer in the group, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm dominant.
Because your friends
not really
suck.
playing against each other. But for me, if you're playing Monopoly with me, I am pretty good at Monopoly. I know a lot of it's based on luck and not as much skill. I mean, there's a strategy.
It's a lot of strategy.
I mean, yes, there's a lot of strategy, but it is at the end of the day the roll of the dice. But I will be ruthless. I will let the game come to me. If you're not willing to sell me properties, so what? I'll go around you, or I'll block all the other properties from being bought. So if I have my finger in every pot, I can make the game last as long as I want because nobody's going bankrupt.
All right.
Make people want to get it over. Just run out the clock, essentially. But I will make sure that I win Monopoly. I'm kind of the same way as Settlers of Catan, but that one's a lot harder to actually win because that one's a lot more luck-based than Monopoly with the roll of the dice there. But I love playing Settlers of Catan, but at times I can get too cocky and tell people that they're going to lose and the game's almost over and I just need one more turn, but somebody else has something up their sleeve and screws me out of winning. So makes for a great moment.
How selfish of them.
I know.
We need to play Monopoly sometime, man. You're cocky.
I'll play you.
Because that was going to be my answer. So,
all right.
We've got some settling to do. Or you could go play golf with Michael Jordan.
Man.
I don't make enough money. This doesn't pay me enough to play golf with Michael Jordan.
I don't pay you enough in a year to play one round with Michael Jordan.
Maybe one hole?
Man. The more I've watched this, the more I'm buying into your theory about it being gambling related, but I don't think he was suspended. I think he just said, look, I'm going to step away. Just stop looking. Just don't ruin my reputation. I'm just going to retire. But yeah, I don't know.
I like how they did address it. They did. I
was surprised.
On the thing. And even David Stern saying, no, I did not suspend him. And I feel like even if they did suspend him secretly, they're not going to come out later.
Right.
Like, that's
defeats the purpose.
It's one of those things you go to the grave with, you know?
Right. Maybe, so, I don't know. And he did.
Is there anything on there you guys think they didn't include? They should have? Or so far, I guess?
Guys, I've just been so confused. Number 8, they were just hopping around from the first 3 titles to baseball to the next 3 titles. And you got to just study it. You got to know what the timeline is in memory while they're hopping around or you get lost. And I don't know. If I'm naming a board game, it'd be Risk. I'm a big Risk fan, always was. When you think of me, you probably think that dude's going to dominate the world. And I do.
I don't think I've ever actually played Risk.
It's fun. It's about dominating the world. Your armies conquer other armies and continents, and yeah.
Seems fun.
Well, basically, when you play Risk, you understand why certain areas of the globe are hotspots for conflict because of where they sit, and why other areas aren't because they're protected by geography. It's pretty interesting.
From I Like Pickles Cat. This is 2 questions that he asked, but I merged them into one because my answer is the same here.
Okay.
And we'll separate them after we take care of me, because me first. What are your top 5 breakfast cereals is his first question. His second question is, what products or brands do you refuse to use? Mine is cereal. I do not eat cereal, so I don't have top 5 cereals.
That's interesting. And I'm glad you went back and pronounced breakfast cereal more accurately, because it sounded like you top 5 breasts. And I'm like, what? Where are we going with this?
Did I cut out?
No, you hesitated and went back, corrected yourself. Like you started to say breakfast wrong. It sounded like breast. Like, well, that's going to be an interesting question. I'm not a big cereal eater either because I'm not a morning person, but I do like, back from the day when I was a kid, Raisin Bran, Frosted Flakes, and Fruit Loops. Those were my 3 main go-tos. I kind of like Rice Krispies on occasion, but with too much sugar. And what else? Let's pick out Apple Jacks. Those candy ones. But I haven't bought cereal in, I don't think since I've been married. So I just don't eat cereal anymore.
Wow. I'm not a cereal connoisseur, so I don't. Cookie Crisp, that'd be my favorite. I don't know if I can name 5 that I love, but that's my answer. Sorry, I'm boring.
That's all right. Yeah, cereal.
Very boring.
I think the cereal industry is
boring.
Kind of seen their day. I think we've all moved on from cereal, but it's just so easy to put in a bowl for kids. So I think you pretty much have to have kids to appreciate cereals. As far as brands that I won't use, if you pull out Hunt's ketchup, I will knife you.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
not a Patrick Mahomes fan there.
No, I'm a little ashamed that he settled on his ketchup endorsement. It's kind of like a shoe endorsement, but he picked Converse. It's like, no, Pat, no. Let's see what else. I'm pretty picky about my toilet paper. There's only a couple brands I'll go with. These are essentials, by the way. And barbecue sauce. I'm really a big fan. You ready for this? Of my barbecue sauce? Of Gates. Their barbecue sauce. I love it. It's got the right amount of spice. Might be a little bit too thin, but I like the flavor a lot.
So you're not refusing to use those brands. You do use those brands.
I do use those.
Everything else is what you're saying?
Right. That's exactly it. I refuse to use Hunt's. I refuse to use, what is the one I refuse to use? Northern Tissue. Ooh. And
the Northern?
If you give me Kansas City Masterpiece barbecue sauce, I will hit you with the bottle.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yep.
What about Arthur Bryant's? You don't like Arthur Bryant's sauce.
I don't like Arthur Bryant's at all.
Yeah.
But I never ate at the original one, and I've heard the original one is totally different than the ones that they try to spin off. So,
well, the one at the Legends closed. They shut that one down.
It was horse crap. That's why. It was horrible. But I don't like their sauce. Their sauce wanders into the Carolina vinegar a little bit for me.
I think it's because, don't they put molasses in it? They put something in it that's special.
Yeah, it's not special to me. But, yeah, I appreciate their history and diligence in being part of the Kansas City barbecue history. Other people can enjoy it. I'm not.
I'm not really into seafood. And that's just from growing up my mom doesn't like seafood, so I never ate it growing up. It never became a part of my diet. And I've never really liked the smell. So I would say I refuse, but I'm very picky, I guess. I'm not really, it's not something that I'm like, I want to eat seafood. I'm just like, I've never been into it.
I tried
Me either.
For dinner the other night, it was Sunday, we got Taco Lucha, and it was a shrimp burrito, and I ordered too late and didn't get it. I was heartbroken. Other than that, I don't know. I'm never owning a GMC again. I know that. Look, my car. My wife still has a GMC. I'm trying to get her out of it.
From Fullest Nelson, which is correct? 2 spaces after a period or 1?
1. Period. 1. 2 spaces after
typewriter
is a typewriter thing. So this is truly generational when you learn to type on a typewriter because you did it there, but you immediately learned it for newspaper when you went, for typesetting and it went through the computer because 2 spaces will split in between the spaces at a line. So for justifying sentences, you'd go down to the next line and there'd be a space at the start of the next line, in the middle of a paragraph. So you learned immediately it's 1 space or screws it up. And now AP Style has just officially said 1 space is right, 2 spaces is wrong. End of story.
Yeah, as a kid, type to learn, that's how we learned to type was 2 spaces. So for a while you do the 2 spaces because that's what you learn. But then as you get into middle school and then high school, you're kind of like, 1 space is clearly suffice here. We don't need to be doing 2 spaces. But then once you get back into college and you need to write a 5-page paper, you better be sure that you're putting 2 spaces because you need that length, even if the professor doesn't care. But it's just there's ways to get that paper longer, and an extra space after each sentence is maybe 2 or 3 lines at the end of your paper. Saves you a bunch.
Taking the easy way out in life, are you, Zach?
Yep.
Of course.
Yep. This isn't even an answer for Ryan Gilbert, is it? It's one space. It's always been one space.
I never knew there was such thing as 2 spaces, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so young.
So it must have changed then, at least teaching it as kids at some point, because we definitely learned 2 spaces after a sentence learning on computers.
How old was your teacher?
Well, I mean, that would have been like the computer teacher, and I honestly couldn't tell you who the computer teacher was then.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably.
I mean,
they were probably older. They probably were They learned to type on a typewriter, and that's how they taught it.
Oh, I'm sure that most of my teachers in elementary school first learned how to type on a typewriter. I would bet that most of them, maybe 1 or 2 teachers were young enough to where they would have learned how to type on a computer first, but I guess, Ryan, you're like 7 years younger than me, so there's probably enough of a generational shift between us two that you had more teachers that were doing computers, so kind of interesting.
I'm so old
that you never saw that or never learned that.
I could do a podcast in Morse code and smoke signals. That's how old I am.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Skills.
It's really old.
Skills with a Z.
Last question of the podcast from Chris66204. What unpopular hill will you die on? And his example for him is that the word forte, meaning your strong suit, is pronounced fort and not forte. And he can die on that hill because he's wrong. It is forte. Forte means strong in music. That's what forte is. So come at me, Chris.
Chris, my hill I'll die on is you don't eat the apple core. I will die on that. Buddy, you don't eat the apple core. I told the wife about that, and I said, the dogs, get this, our dogs enjoy apple slices. They love apple slices. So I said, why don't we just pull off the stem and pull out the seeds and see if they'll eat the core? If the dogs won't eat it, then it's probably not supposed to be eaten. We'll see what happens next time. The hill I would die on, I'm a man of many opinions, but I don't know of many hills I would. I'm sure that my friends could tell me I have hills I would die on. But I can't think of what that would be.
Fitz.
What's that?
Not for you, but for me. I will die on the hill that bacon is overrated, and you only like it because the pork producers marketed it really well in the 80s. Bacon was not a piece of meat that you ate back in the day. It's a newish thing. It's a recent invention that put bacon on everything. You know, it didn't used to be like that.
I read a scientific study that said it satisfies certain smell and taste cravings that most human beings have. There's actually science behind why bacon became so popular. I don't know.
Interesting. That must not be most humans.
Yeah. Hey, I know one. Whataburger's better than In-N-Out. Although, if I'm on the hill and you bring me In-N-Out, I'll eat it. So, I guess I'd die on that hill, but enjoy In-N-Out while dying on the hill.
It's such a weird argument to have.
I know.
Like, it wasn't an argument until In-N-Out went into markets where Whataburger was, like Arizona and Texas.
They're both very good.
I don't know how to put it, but it's like In-N-Out is a California thing. Whataburger is a Texas thing. You're allowed to like both. Sure, you can like one better than the other, but I never saw it as this outright war that it kind of became on social media. It's like, just calm down. It's a burger from 2 different parts of the country. Like, you shouldn't have ever been able to eat them together until recently, you know?
And another hill I've always stood tall on, I guess, and now others can join me because they're educated, is Jordan is the greatest player of all time. So I'm up on that hill. I've always been on that hill.
Another one for me, it's also food related. Spangles is better than Freddy's. I will die on that hill.
I agree with that one. 100%.
I don't think Freddy's is as good as people give it credit for. And I know that a lot of people disagree.
That one in Manhattan's pretty garbage, but here where I live, it's a lot better.
Huh, that's interesting because I don't enjoy the one. I feel like they're too flat, too dried out. Yeah. There's one in Iowa that is absolute trash. It's like loose burger beef. I mean, it's like.
Oh, New Way?
Yeah.
Wichita?
Oh, yeah. They're out of Iowa. Oh, it's awful.
I didn't know that New Way was a thing until, like, I switched my cable to Cox a while ago, like a couple years ago, but it switched to, for whatever reason, it's like Wichita-based instead of having like Topeka-based commercials. So everything is Wichita commercials, and there's New Way commercials that'll run on there, and I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, it's basically a Spangles, but like it's Kansas-based, but it's loose beef on a bun. It's like a Sloppy Joe without Sloppy Joe, and I was confused, and I had never heard of it before.
Gills, you got anything? Got anything you live and die for?
I will say that The Office is overrated.
Wow. Boy, is this a change in the RG opinions right there? Wow.
I think I can respect that.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched the full Office, but
I never got into it.
I think The Office being popular, or as popular as people make it out to be, I think that's kind of a Bacon thing for me. It kind of comes from the same. Like, it's so popular, but, like, why do you like it? Do you like it because it's popular? It's kind of like hating Nickelback. You only hate Nickelback because it's cool to hate Nickelback. Nickelback is fine. They were unnecessarily drugged through the mud because you didn't like one of their songs, and then it became a meme. Nickelback is fine.
And that's not a hill.
That's my rant.
You don't want to die on.
That's not a hill I want to die on, but...
Oh, because they could be right. Nickelback could suck. Is that it? That's everything? Gills, you got anything else? Surely, in your short but beautiful life, you have more hills you would die on.
Man, I don't know. I get along with a lot of people. I just want to keep my mouth shut so I don't get fired here.
Yeah, well.
Saying something else about you.
Yeah, we need to talk after the podcast. That's it for the overtime. We had a lot of fun. It was good. Great questions. And as Zach said at the top of the show, we had so many good questions. We saved some. He's got like a list he carries around in his shirt pocket along with his protractor and pencils and pens.
And I check it twice.
Check it twice. It's right there. It's close to his heart, but protected by the pocket protector. It's very safe. It's like his information condom in his pocket. I've gone too far again. We appreciate the Fridge for putting up with this and continuing to sponsor this. And I went into the Fridge the other day. Well, I didn't. My wife did, to get us some delicious beverages. And they were delicious, and I've consumed many of them. We will talk to you next week. We'll be back with a regular podcast next week. We have no celebrities lined up for another Questions podcast. Unless we do figure out a celebrity lineup for the Questions podcast. That's not a bad idea. We might look at that. We'll see. We'll talk to you.
You've been listening to the PowerCat Overtime Podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. PowerCat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street Publishing.
Ready? Go. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is coming to Paramount Plus.
Hang on!
It's off-the-charts spectacular.
Go, go, go!
Tom Cruise has outdone himself.
The world's coming after you. Stay out of my way.
Prepare for one of the best action movies ever made.
This is getting exciting.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Streaming January 25th on Paramount Plus. Rated PG-13. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13.